Assalamu alaikum, welcome back to my channel. I'm Amna, Muslim revert from Iceland. So in today's video I want to talk about an important topic. I've been seeing a lot of divisions between Muslims. Firstly, people divide themselves into sects. I personally don't want to divide myself into a sect. I don't want to say I'm Sunni or Shia Muslim or any other. I personally only call myself a Muslim, or I call myself a Muslim revert, but that is not a sect. Obviously, that is only to distinguish that I've not been a Muslim all my life. And some people say revert, some people say convert. I'm not really that strict on the wording. I think most people know what I mean, but I personally don't want to be part of any sect, or I personally don't think that people should even divide themselves into sects. There is also a big division between men and women in the Muslim community. And I understand that people can have different opinions and not everyone will agree with each other. But I think that it goes too far from both sides. There is a lot of negativity and hate, and some people go too far with slandering other people. I personally don't agree with both sides fully. I'm not a feminist, but I do believe that women should have rights and Islam gives women rights. So for Muslim men to want to take that away from women, I think that is not fair. And it is wrong. There are certain things that I don't agree with forcing women to do. For example, wearing hijab. I think that that should be fully her decision. I believe that women should be able to make their own decisions, as Allah gave us all free will and He will test us all. So if a woman is forced and that is the only reason why she's wearing hijab, then obviously Allah will know her intentions. And some Muslim countries, they take away some rights of women and want to control them, and it gives Islam a bad image, and I think that's very sad. I wear hijab full time now and I'm on my journey, but I am not perfect. I'm far from it, and people should not do as I do. I think that people should do their best to improve themselves. Don't compare yourself with people that have completely different life than you, who have been raised differently and have grown up differently. There are some women who have taken their hijab off, and I'm not happy about that. But I can have empathy, and I know that people have struggles and they are human and they can still be Muslim, and all I can do for them is pray for them. So I don't agree with slandering other Muslims because they don't wear hijab or they don't wear a perfect hijab. It's not something easy in these times. And also men have also difficulty to cover their aura, and they only have to cover from navel to knee. You can follow who you want on social media, and if something is really affecting you in a negative way, then you can just unfollow them. But I also think that people should make their own decisions and not let other people have so much power into what you do. So if someone else does something, then you shouldn't just follow what that person does blindly just because, you know what I mean. Why I wouldn't call myself a feminist is because, yes, maybe there are certain things that I can agree with, and there are maybe some good parts in it, but I don't agree with everything in that movement. Also, feminists themselves disagree with each other. I've heard different things from different feminists, so it's really confusing. This is a movement from people made by people, so of course there are gonna be flaws in it. Same with any other movement made by people, there are always gonna be some flaws in it. And I'm also not a misogynist. The problem here is that women who have been treated badly by other men, they end up turning to feminism because of their experiences with men. I believe that men as a whole should do better, because if men would do better in how they treat women, then I think we would have a lot less women turning to feminism. Some men turn to red pill movement or some other, I don't know what they are called, and I also don't agree with those, and it will not solve feminism as well, I think it will make it even worse. Some feminists are against this word obeying your husband, and I personally don't have anything against it, because if you are married to a good, understanding husband, it shouldn't be a problem. Who will not force me to do something that is not even his decision. I can still make my own decisions, but he can advise me and say his opinions. That's fine. There is nothing wrong in that. If he asks me to do something reasonable, then I have no problem in that. And I think that listening to each other is an important thing in a marriage. I want to add also, because I am a woman and I cannot talk for all women, but I can say generally speaking, I think men also feel the same way. I guess, I don't know, but I will talk for women because I'm a woman. Basically, is that I hope that men take this advice, because if you are a man, and basically, yes, it's good to be a leader of the family. That is like your role as a man in a marriage, as a husband. So, but I think also that women do not want to be with an overly controlling man and make absolutely every decision for the woman, because if that is the case, then she will feel like she is basically married to her father, and she will feel like a child. She will feel like she is unable to make her own decisions and she cannot think for herself, and that is not the case. So if a woman will feel like she is married to her father, and it would be like a child father relationship, she will also not feel, wanting to do anything like romantic and things like that, obviously. And this will not really, this can make problems in your marriage if the man is like overly controlling. And there are certain things that obviously in a marriage, of course you should have boundaries, you should have understanding in things. And if something is really important to you, then it's really important to talk about it before getting married, to be on the same page. So for example, if you want your woman, like your wife, to wear hijab, then that's something you have to talk about before getting married, and like talk about like how important that is for her and all these things, so you are on the same page. Same on both sides, basically. If there is something important to the woman, then she should also talk before getting married, like about this topic. That's something that's really important, but you cannot control that person and to force her to do something that she doesn't want to do, because it can ruin the marriage and it can make her feel like she's a child. So a woman wants to be married to a man who sees her as his equal. She wants to be married to a husband, not to a father or father figure. So there is one clip of a woman who calls a hadith disgusting. It has gone viral, so yeah, let's see that, and I will say my opinion about it.
If a man calls his wife to bed and she refuses and he goes to sleep angry with her, the angels curse her until morning. This is disgusting.
This hadith is actually about a woman who is doing that on purpose, who is basically withholding that from her husband on purpose, without any reason, reason. Like there are many reasons. For example, she can be sick or tired or have headache or anything. Like there can be any valid reason, basically. So when that is the case, then obviously this hadith doesn't apply to that woman who is not purposefully like doing that to hurt him or something like that. So yeah, I think people take this hadith out of context and don't really understand the reason behind it. And as we know, it can hurt the man, obviously. But we also have to understand that obviously if a woman is married to a man, then of course, like if she got married to him, then obviously there has to be some kind of attraction, of course she will want to do it with her husband, because obviously if she is not doing that with her husband, then there are probably reasons behind it. Most likely, most of the time there are some reasons. Either there is something like she has some problem, or she's tired, or she's something, or maybe there's something. So if also, I think what is important here is, instead of the man reminding her, oh, it's your responsibility, because I know that women and men have their responsibilities in a marriage, but instead of being like, this is your responsibility, you have to do this, you have to talk in a nice way, and talk like in an understanding way, and in a soft way, like, and also maybe think, what is it that I'm doing that makes her not want to be intimate? you know like, maybe there are some reasons behind that. Maybe you should try to be more romantic, take her out to eat, or do something, like spend quality time with her. There are things that maybe is lacking, and maybe there's a reason behind her not wanting to do that. So yeah, instead of being like, just do it because you have to do it, because you are the wife and you have to do this, your responsibility, like, have some emotion and have some care. So yeah, I don't think that this hadith is disgusting like she was saying, but yeah, I'm just saying from a woman's perspective. Another problem that I think we have in the Muslim community, and it's not only Muslims, it's also non-Muslims, but because I'm a Muslim, then I will talk about that topic, is that people throw the word divorce very easily. And yes, in some cases, it is 100% reasonable. I understand. That is like the final option. Divorce is allowed, but it's not something that people should take lightly. It's something serious. Of course, if you are married to an abuser or something very serious, and of course, divorce is justified. A divorced woman does not mean that she is a bad woman or that there is something wrong with her. You do not know her story, and the same with a divorced man. But people have to stop talking about divorce on social media like it's nothing serious, and just talking about it so lightly. We shouldn't love divorce, but there can be learning experiences from it. And in some cases, it can be a blessing, of course. So these are some things that I've just felt that has been so toxic, and it's really hard to see, because I feel that people can do better. And sometimes I feel like I have to take a break from social media because there is just so much negativity and so many people who want to tarnish other people. I appreciate everyone who supports me and try to understand what I'm trying to say. I don't want any problems. I just want people to be more unified and try to be more respectful towards other people. How you talk about other people says more about yourself than it does that person. So maybe people have to look within themselves. And the only person that you can control is yourself. A lot of people are too much focused on other people and what other people are doing wrong. And then they forget that they also have things that they have to work on themselves. And if you are doing good in practicing Islam, then you also shouldn't be arrogant about it and think you are better than someone else, because only Allah truly knows that, and we should be humble. Thank you for watching. Share this message and comment your thoughts. What do you think about this topic? Because it is something that has been an issue, I guess, and I've noticed it. Like and subscribe for more videos. See you next time. Assalamu alaikum.